Hello guys. This is Kulaipa, and I am here to explain you about how to integrate .NET with Apache Spark. Yes, this is also new for me, but earlier we had Scala, Java, and Python programming languages to interpret with Spark, whereas now in 2019, last year, they introduced .NET also, framework to integrate with Spark. So in this session, yes, steps are very clear in their documentation itself, but I just wanted show you the demo how we install this .NET framework and we integrate with this Apache Spark. So this is for Windows setup. You can also do with Linux setup if you have. So in this tutorial, we will see how to start with this scenario. And first thing first, we need to download the SDK, like how we have a Java SDK. Same here also we have a .NET SDK for 64-bit and 32-bit. It pretty straightforward. Next option to install and complete it. And once you complete the installation, to verify the installation, you just open command prompt and type .NET. So let's see. I have already installed, and when you go to the command prompt and just type .NET. Yeah. Sorry, it is. You can see here, if the command runs printing out information about how to use .NET, you are good to go. That's what they told. Yes, it is giving options. So basically, if .NET was not installed, we will get error. Since it is giving us help options and other information, which means yes, .NET is available. So similarly, you see if you have any other error like this, .NET is not recognized as an internal or external command, which means there is some error. So now we done with the .NET setup. In the next step, we have to, yeah, Java would be already there. If it is not available, you have to install the Java and also set the environmental variable. And those steps also they have covered here. Okay, right? It is also next. So probably you must be having Java in your machine. In the next step, yes, we will come with Apache Spark. You just download this, and this will download with extension .tgz. Hope you will be having 7-zip extractor. So you just extract in the same place, and it will give you tar file. So and tar file, you just give a right click, and then once you give the right click, you see here. You have to create a folder bin inside your C driver. So I have created one inside C drive itself. I've created a bin directory. So you try to extract, give a right click, and then select the extract file option, and then browse this particular bin path. So here I'm. So in this bin path, if you select, yes, this Spark 241 bin Hadoop 2.7 will be placed. So all configuration related setup already done. So you just require to extract this. That's all. So once you extract this, now you are ready to work with your Spark also. And you have to set few environmental variables like Hadoop home. This is the path that we have just downloaded, and also Spark home also you can set the same path. And you're also if you want to check the version, you just try with this Spark home bin Spark submit hyphen version. It will give you the version. Let me try in my machine. I have already set up the environmental variables, so I will be able to see this Spark submit hyphen version. Yeah, so 2.4 is the version, Spark version that I have downloaded. So now after completion of this step, let's go to the another one. This is .NET for Spark. Here also same way, you download this particular zip file and extract it here in the same folder, which means I have created a bin right in this Microsoft Spark worker. You have to download that Microsoft Spark worker, and then the same way you just use the extract file option and then uncheck this option so that you will be able to extract into a proper target directory. Another important thing is you have to download if you are working with Spark in Windows machine, and you have to download this WinUtils, and then you have to place inside Spark Hadoop bin, which means here inside Spark again you will be having a bin folder, right? So here you have to place this WinUtils. Yeah, I have placed already. Then you done with almost half of the setup. Now you have to export this option, working directory, setx.net working directory, as our Spark worker. This is the one inside this Spark worker. Yeah, this is the one. So we are ready with this. Yeah, integrated with this one, and create your app. So how you will create, if you want to create a new project, yes, .NET, then new console -o my Spark app. This is the folder name that you will be creating. So I have created inside users. Let's go to users directory. So I have navigated here, and then my Spark app. You see here, there is one created. So this is automatically folder structure will create bin object and others. And then in the next step, I've just navigated to that particular directory, and it will also ask you in the same place. Okay, it's not in the other window. Once you navigate to your project structure in the command line, execute this in order to have this particular plug package. So that is the thing you need to do. Otherwise, it will throw error. So this must be added. And then add a data file. I have added simple data file. So since I wanted to complete a application with word count, so I created input.txt in the same folder itself. And the next one, code your app. So this is a sample program available. So I will be pasting this link in the YouTube comment section. You can find out. So just copy this entire code and then place it here. It is very simple inside program.cs, and I will open the program.cs also in my machine. So what we are trying to do is, yes, we are creating a Spark session. More or less it's same, the syntax wise, and we are reading the data from input text and then counting it based on some functions, existing functions. We are just grouping it and then counting, and finally word.show we are printing. So simple application. But yes, if you see that class and then namespace, it's a .NET standard, so we have to include those. Earlier we worked with Scala, Python, so we used to include some def main method all in order to start the execution. So same way we have to include this namespace and class here in .NET. And once we're ready with this, the next step is we will have to run these applications. To run your app, first thing first, you need to build this .NET build. So then only the application will be compiled, and if there are any errors, it will throw error message. Yes, now you see here. Let me go back to, yeah. So .NET build, and this is the command to run your application. So Spark submit -class. This is the existing class that we have. Let me go to here and then explain. And master local and specifying. See, this is driver memory and execute memory. Number of execute, I set it because I have connected to Postgres SQL, and then I'm trying to do something like data load and data extraction. So you can use those arguments, or else you can leave also. And if you see here, master local, because this is a standalone application that I'm using Spark, so you have to mention Spark as a master local, and these are all other configure variables. And if you see the at the end, yeah, jar file is this is the one, Microsoft Spark, this is a jar name. And also DDL. So DLL file is my Spark app, the name of the application, sorry, name of the directory that we have created, my Spark app DLL. So this is the syntax to run the application. So I have already ran it, and you can see it is running because I've used Postgres SQL also, since it is running. Now you see word count. So once you execute this, yeah, I'll come from beginning. Yes, here I've triggered the command. Okay, I triggered the command, then it went for execution. So it is taking, you see here, memory as a 5 GB, and it's set with 10 GB as a driver memory, and it went for execution, and then it printed because I was using data frame.show. So if you look at somewhere over here, there is output. Yeah, this is the output that is available in my text file. And the execution is continuing because I have a few more steps to read the data from a table from Postgres table and then loading it to again loading back to Postgres table. So that's why it is in progress that data size is used. So that's all for now. This is about .NET work integration with Spark, and you can start coding, because I heard that it is performing as equivalent as Scala and Python. And most of the applications, if you are already using in .NET and if you are facing some performance issues while reading from any database, and if you are processing through C#, so you can also start coding in .NET since Spark has a connectivity. So that's all for the session, guys. If you have any doubts, please do reach out to me, and thanks for watching. Yeah, signing off.